Hey everyone, how are you all doing? Well, in today's video, we're going to discuss arithmetic progressions exercise 5.2. So get ready to ace this topic. Let's begin. Question 1. Fill in the blanks in the following table. Given that A is the first term, D the common difference, and AN the nth term of an AP. Now in this, the first sub-question is A is equal to 7, D is equal to 3, N is equal to 8 and AN is equal to question mark. That is what we're going to find out, right? Now, we know the formula that AN is equal to A plus N minus 1 into D. So this is the formula. And by substituting all the values available for us, we'll be able to find out the unknown value. So here AN is the unknown value. So let me write it again like this. Then we have A as 7, isn't it? 7 plus what is N? N is equal to 8. So 8 minus 1. And what is the common difference? That is small d. Small d is 3. So 8 minus 1 into 3. Now what is the value of AN? AN is equal to 7 plus what is 8 minus 1? 8 minus 1 is 7. 7 plus 7 into 3. Right. In the next step, we're going to simplify it further. AN is equal to 7 plus what is 7 times 3? 7 times 3 is 21. Now what is the value of AN? 7 plus 21, which is 28. Therefore, the value of unknown here in this case, which is AN, is 28. So this was our first sub question. Now let's move ahead. So here we have minus 18 as A and D here is the unknown value followed by N as 10 and AN as 0. Now what is the formula? AN is equal to A plus N minus 1 into D. Isn't it? Now we're going to substitute the values and find out the unknown value from our given data. Now what is the value of AN? AN is equal to 0. What is the value of A? It is minus 18. Now plus what is the value of N? N is 10, isn't it? So 10 minus 1. And what is the value of D? That is the unknown value over here. So let me write D as it is. Then 0 is equal to minus 18 plus what is 10 minus 1? 10 minus 1 is 9. So it's going to be minus 18 plus 9D. Now I'm going to transpose this minus 18 to the other side. So it's going to be what? It's going to be 0 plus 18 is equal to 9D. Now this is nothing but 18. 18 is equal to 9D. Now I'm going to transpose this 9 to the other side. It turns out to go to the denominator and divide, isn't it? So this is going to be 18 upon 9 is equal to D. That is the common difference. Now 9 times 1 and 9 times 2. D is equal to 2 upon 1, which is 2. Well, now what is the value of D? The value of D is 2. Moving ahead, we have A as the unknown value followed by D as minus 3, N as 18 and AN as minus 5. Now AN is equal to A plus N minus 1 into D. Now what is the value of AN? AN over here is minus 5. So minus 5 is equal to A plus 18 minus 1 into minus 3. On substituting all the values which we know, we get minus 5 is equal to A plus 18 minus 1 into minus 3. Now, minus 5 is equal to A plus, now we know that 18 minus 1 is 17. Then 17 into minus 3 is minus 51, isn't it? So it's going to be A minus 51. Now, minus 5 plus 51 is equal to A, isn't it? I have just transported this minus 51 to the other side. It turns out to be positive 51, isn't it? Now, What is minus 5 plus 51? It is, so this is minus 5 plus 51 is equal to A, and A will turn out to be 46, and which is positive because the bigger number sign is positive over here, isn't it? So what is the value of A? The value of A is 46. We know that an is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. Let's just substitute the values of the fourth sub question over here. We get 3.6 is equal to minus 18.9 plus n minus 1 into 2.5. On further simplification, we get 3.6 plus 18.9 equals to n minus 1 into 2.5, isn't it? Now, what is 3.6 plus 18.9? It is 22.5. Alright, 22.5 is equal to n minus 1 into 2.5. Well, now I'm going to transpose this 2.5 to the other side. It turns out to be dividing, isn't it? So 22.5 upon 2.5 is equal to n minus 1. Now what is the answer of 22.5 upon 2.5? It is 9. So n minus 1 is equal to 9. Right. Now what is the value of n? N is equal to 9 plus 1 and n is equal to 10. That means here the value which is unknown to us is n, and the value of n is 10. Moving to the last sub question we have over here is that A is 3.5, D is 0, N is 10.5, and we're going to find out AN, which is similar to the first question. Right, so AN is equal to A plus N minus 1 into D. Well, let's just substitute the values. It turns out to be AN is equal to 3.5 plus 10.5 minus 1 into D, which is 0. Now, this turns out to be AN is equal to 3.5. Why? That is because here this entire term has been multiplied with 0. And the value turns out to be 0 itself, isn't it? So it's going to be 3.5 plus 0, which is nothing but 3.5. So now what is the value of AN over here? Value of AN is 3.5. Choose the correct choice from the following and justify. Now, the first sub question over here is that 30th term of the AP 1074 is. So here let me just put on whatever I know. Here I know that the first term, that is A1, is equal to 10. And the common difference I'm getting over here is A2 minus A1, which is 7 minus 10, which is minus 3. Now what is the value of common difference over here? The common difference is minus 3. And we know the first term, which is 10. And apart from this, do we know anything else? We are going to find out the value of A30 because they're asking us what is the 30th term of this particular AP. Now this is something which is already given to us. Now let's just put on our formula. AN is equal to A plus N minus 1 into D. Well, here we're going to find out A30, isn't it? So A30 will be equal to what? What is the value of A? The value of A is 10. Now you might ask me, there is no value of n over the given information. So what should we substitute? Well, you're unknowingly given with the value. You're going to find out A30. That means your value of n is 30, isn't it? So it's going to be 10 plus 30 minus 1 into what is the value of D? D is minus 3, isn't it? Now, on further simplification, we get A30 is equal to 10 Now 10 plus, what is this? 30 minus 1. 29 into minus 3. Now, on further simplification, this turns out to be A30 is equal to 10 minus 87, isn't it? And what is the value of A30? The value of A30 is equal to minus 77. So which option is correct? Option C is correct. Now here we are asked to find out the 11th term and the AP is given. From the AP we can extract A and D. That is the first term, and the common difference can be extracted if we just know the AP. Right. Now A is equal to minus 3 and the value of D is nothing but A2 minus A1. And what is A2? A2 is minus 1 by 2 minus of minus 3, which in turn turns out to be 5 upon 2. So value of D is 5 upon 2. Now we extracted A and D. Now we're going to put on the formula. AN is equal to A plus N minus 1 into D. Now just substitute the values, and you already know the value of N. Come on, N is equal to 11. Right, because we're going to find out the 11th term. Now, what is the value of AN? That's what we're going to find out. So AN is equal to, what is the value of A? It is minus 3 plus 11 minus 1 into D. What is the value of D over here? The value of D is 5 upon 2. And wait, we're going to find out the value of N, which is going to be 11. Right, because we're going to find out the 11th term. So N is equal to 11. Alright, then A11 turns out to be minus 3 plus 10 into 5 upon 2. This turns out to be A11 is equal to minus 3 plus 25. And now A11 turns out to be 22. Positive 22, isn't it? Now have a look at the options and tell me which is the right one. The right answer is option number B. Well, we have dived into one of the interesting questions. We're going to find out the missing terms in the boxes. Right. So here, firstly I have 2. This is the unknown value followed by 26. Now, we know that the common difference of the terms will be definitely equal because it's an arithmetic regression. Now, can I write, let's suppose say my mid value over here is x. So 26 minus x will be equal to x minus 2. Now what are you telling? Well, I'm telling that A2, let's write it as A2 minus A1 equals to A3 minus A2. Now in the both the cases, what are we trying to find out? We are trying to find out only the common difference. And we already know that the common difference is same across any AP, right? So I've just equated this in order to find out my mid value. Then this turns out to be 26 minus x is equal to minus 2. Now, on further simplification, we get 26 minus 2x is equal to minus 2. Minus 2x is equal to minus 2 minus 26. Minus 2x is equal to minus 28. And the value of x turns out to be 14, isn't it? So the value of x is 14. Now what is the value of x over here? Well, that is nothing but the missing term. So now what is the missing term over here? It is 14. Moving ahead, we have the unknown value is the first one, followed by 13, followed by unknown value, followed by 3. Now in this case, let's substitute two values. Now let me say that the first unknown value is x and the next one be y. Alright. Now I'm going to use a plus n minus 1 into d. And now you might be wondering, how is it possible? Let's try it out. An is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. Now here, I'm going to take my value of n as 2. Because I already know the value of a2, right? a1, a2, a3, a4. Now I'm going to try to extract the value of a and d using this formula. How do I do that? Basically, here I'm going to substitute the value as a2. So a2 is equal to, what is the value of a? A is x. Or let me just write it as a itself, right? So a plus, this is going to be 2 minus 1 into, do you know the value of d? We don't know, isn't it? Into d. Now as simple as that. Now we already know the value of a2. 13 is equal to a plus d. Alright. So this is our first equation. Let's not take this equation anywhere. Now let's just try to move on to the next part of the question. We also know the value of a4, isn't it? So I'll write an is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. Now I know the value of a4, isn't it? So a4 is equal to, what is the value of a? It is a itself, right? So a plus, what is the value of n? 4, isn't it? Come on. Here n, 4. We have equated it. So 4 minus 1 into, what is d? D is the unknown value yet again. Now, what is the value of a4? a4 is 3. So 3 is equal to a plus 3d. Now, this is the other equation we have arrived to. Now, upon solving these equations, we might get the value of a and d, isn't it? Let's try it out. Now, I'm going to use equation number 1 and 2. A plus d is equal to 13. Then a plus 3d is equal to 3. Now I'm going to subtract them. Right? The signs get changed. Alright. So here a gets eliminated. We'll be left out with minus 2d is equal to 10. And the value of d turns out to be minus 5. This is how we found out the value of d. That is, the common difference is minus 5. And when common difference is minus 5, we can extract a, isn't it? Now, how to find out a? You can either substitute in this particular equation also. So, a plus d is 13. Now, we don't know the value of a. So, a plus minus 5 is equal to 13, which turns out to be a minus 5 is equal to 13. And the value of a turns out to be 18, right? 13 plus 5, which is 18. Now, on the other hand, I had to find out the third term, that is a3. And we know that a3 is equal to, so a3 is equal to a plus 2d. Now here the value of a is 18 plus 2 into minus 5. This is going to be 18 minus 10, which in turn is going to give you 8. Now what is the value of a? The value of a is 18. So our first missing term over here is 18, followed by the value of a3. The next missing term is 8. So the AP is 13, 8. Well, yeah, we have 18, 13, 8, 3 and so on. Moving ahead, we have 5, unknown value followed by 9, 1 upon 2. Now, well, a1 is equal to 5 and a4 is equal to a plus 3d, isn't it? Alright, so this is going to be 9 1 upon 2 is equal to 5 plus 3d. I can easily extract the common difference over here. Now this turns out to be 18 plus 1, 19 upon 2, right? So this is 19 upon 2 minus 5 is equal to 3d. On taking LCM, we get 19 minus 10 upon 2 is equal to 3d, which is 9 upon 2 equals to 3D. Now this turns out to be the common difference. The value of D is 3 upon 2. Now when the value of D is 3 upon 2, I can extract these terms, isn't it? So now 9 1 upon 2 minus x is equal to 3 upon 2. I have made the second unknown value as x. So the common difference will be what? A4 minus A3 is equal to 3 upon 2, which is nothing but 9 1 upon 2 minus x is equal to 3 upon 2. Now we get 19 upon 2 minus x is equal to 3 upon 2. Now this is 19 upon 2 minus 3 upon 2 equals to x, and the value of x turns out to be 16 upon 2, which is 8. That means the value over here is gonna be 8. Now we're gonna extract this value. How are we gonna do that? The same procedure. So this turns out to be A3 minus A2 is equal to 3 upon 2. Right, so A3 minus A2 equals to 3 upon 2. 8 minus y, let's suppose, is equal to 3 upon 2. So now, minus y is equal to 3 upon 2 minus 8. This turns out to be minus y is equal to 3 minus 16 upon 2. Now, on further simplification, we get minus y is equal to minus 13 upon 2. Now, what is the value of y? The value of y is 13 upon 2. And the missing value over here is also 13 upon 2. So what are the two missing values? The two missing values are 13 upon 2 and 8. Moving ahead, we have minus 4 followed by unknown values, and then we have 6. Alright. So here we know that A1 is minus 4. A2 is the unknown value followed by A3, A4, A5. And lastly, we are also given with the last term, which is 6. Now in this case, always remember, we are being given with A1 minus 4. A6 as 6 itself. Now, we know that An is equal to A plus n minus 1 into D. Do you remember this? Well, yes. Now, we know the value of A6, isn't it? So, I'll just write A6 is equal to A plus 6 minus 1 into D. Now, A6 will be equal to A plus 5D. Now, what am I trying to extract? Instead of doing such a long process, if it is A6, it will be A plus 5D. And if it is A5, it will be A plus 4D. If it is A3, it's going to be A plus 2D. If it is A4, it's going to be A plus 3D. Now, what is the pattern you're observing over here? If it is 6, then it's going to be the preceding term, which is 5D. 5, 4, 3, 2, 4, 3. So in that way, you can easily extract. In the exam point of view, it's going to be very easier, isn't it? Instead of being so lengthy. Then, since we extracted A6 is equal to A plus 5D, we can just substitute the values of A and A6. A6 is equal to 6 and A is equal to minus 4 plus 5 into D. And D is what we are going to extract right now, isn't it? Now, 6 plus 4 is equal to 10. 10 is equal to 5D. And the value of D turns out to be 2. So, we know the value of D. We know the value of the first term. We know the value of A6 as well. Now, when you know the value of the first term and the common difference, it's quite easier to find the terms. Now, we have A2. Now, you tell me what is A2 equal to? A2 will be A plus D or A plus 1 into D, which is nothing but A plus D, isn't it? Now, A2 is equal to minus 4 plus 2 and A2 turns out to be minus 2. Isn't it easier for us? Instead of Using the formula again and again, it is quite easier, isn't it? Then we have A3. A3 is equal to A plus 2D. Then we have A as minus 4 plus 2 into 2. And wait, what? Minus 4 plus 4 is going to give you 0. So what is the value of A3? A3 turns out to be 0. Then A4 is equal to A plus 3D. Alright. Then A4 will be equal to minus 4 plus 3 into 2. Now A4 turns out to be 2, isn't it? Minus 4 plus 6 turns out to be 2. Then we have A5 is equal to A plus 4D. We're simply extracting the terms which are missing, isn't it? So A5 is equal to minus 4 plus 4 into 2. Now A5 will be equal to what? Minus 4 plus 8. It's going to be 4. So what is the value of A5? It is 4. Now let's just simply write the missing terms. So what is the value of A2, everyone? It is minus 2. What is the value of A4? A4 is 2. And what is the value of A3? It is 0. What is the value of A5? It is 4. So in this way, we can extract the middle terms. A1 is unknown, isn't it? A2 is 38. A3 is unknown. A4 is unknown. A5 is unknown. But A6 is equal to minus 22. So here we know that A1 is unknown. So let's say A2 is equal to 38. Alright. So here we know that A2 can be written as A plus D. So A plus D is equal to 38. Now we framed an equation over here. Let's say this is equation number 1. We're good to go. And the other value we know is A6 is equal to minus 22. So A6 is equal to minus 22. And what is the value of A6? It's basically A plus 5D. So A plus 5D is equal to minus 22. And we have arrived to our second equation of the day. Now, you're going to subtract both the equations. So we have A plus 5D is equal to minus 22 and A plus D is equal to 38. Are we good to go? Well, yes. Now, upon subtracting, everyone, the signs get changed for the second equation, isn't it? If it's positive, it turns out to be negative. If it is negative, it turns out to be positive. Right, this is something very basic. Here I'm going to cancel out this A. We'll be left out with 4D is equal to, now here we have minus 60. Right, minus 22 minus 38 will give you minus 60. Very well. Then we have our value of D as minus 15. Alright, now we know the common difference, that is minus 15. Now, we can easily extract A, isn't it? A plus D is equal to 38. I'm just substituting common difference in any one of the equations so that I can easily get the value of A. Now, I have A plus of minus 15 is equal to 38 and the value of A turns out to be 53. The value of A turns out to be 53. That means what is the value of A1 over here? The value of A1 is equal to 53. Now when you know the value of A, that is the first term, and when you know the common difference, isn't it way far more easier for us to find out the next terms? Isn't it? Now we have A3. A3 is equal to A plus 2D. This will be equal to 53 plus 2 into minus 15. Now what is this value? 53 minus 30, which is going to be 23. Now what is the value of A3 over here? It is 23. Then let's see for A4. A4 is equal to A plus 3D. Then what is the value of A? It's 53 plus 3 into minus 15. Now it's going to be 53 minus 45, which is 8. Alright. Then we have A5. So A5 is equal to A plus 4D. Right. So 53 plus 4 into minus 15. So it's basically 53 minus 60. What is 53 minus 60? It is minus 7. So A5 is equal to minus 7. Now let's just quickly write the missing terms over here. We have 53 as our first term, A3 as 23, A4 as 8 and A5 as minus 7. Moving ahead, we have which term of the AP 3, 8, 13, 18 and so on is 78. So here, when AP is given, always remember that you'll be able to extract two things from here. The value of A, that is the first term, and the common difference. They can be easily extracted from the AP. Now, A1 is equal to 3 and the common difference is equal to 8 minus 3, that is A2 minus A1, which is 5. Now we know the first term, we know the common difference. Whenever the questions like which term is being asked, that means here the value of n is being asked. Anywhere you find which term, it means you're going to find out the value of n. Okay. And it's also given that which term of the AP is going to be 78. So the value of an is equal to 78 and you're going to find out the value of n. Well, that's simple, right? We're going to just substitute the values if we just know the question. What is the question asking? Basically, which term? Whenever the question is asking which term, always remember that you're going to find out the value of n. And an is equal to 78. Now, what is the formula? An is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. We know the value of a, we know the value of d, we know the value of an. The only missing value is n, which we're going to find out, right? 78 is equal to 3 plus n minus 1 into 5. This is something very basic. I have just substituted the values. Then 78 is equal to 3 plus 5n minus 5. This turns out to be 78 is equal to minus 2 plus 5n. Now 80 is equal to 5n. Now what is the value of n, everyone? It's going to be 80 upon 5, which is n is equal to 16. That means the 16th term of AP so and so is 78. That means in this particular AP, the 16th term is going to be 78. That is the value of n. Alright. Moving ahead, we have find the number of terms in each of the following APs. Now everyone, I want to make the concept clear. Here we have an is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. The thing you'll always focus on is that an is basically your last term. Alright, it's the general term. Or it's the nth term. Isn't it? It can change its roles in any question. Then we have a. What is a here? A is the first term. Alright. Then we have n. What is n? N is basically the number of terms. The number of terms of an AP defines n. And what is d? D is the common difference. Now upon this, now you guys are going to tell me what value are we going to find out from this question. Here they're asking us to find out the number of terms in each of the following APs. That means what are we going to extract? We're going to extract the value of n. Alright. Now an is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. Now we know the value of a1. Always remember from the AP we can extract A and D for sure. But the last term is also given in this particular AP. That means AN is also given for us. Right. Now first, what is the value of A1? It is 7. What is the value of D? 13 minus 7. That's going to give you 6. Alright. Then we have AN. Here in the AP, we are also being provided with the last term. That is 205. I already told you that AN can be the nth term or the last term, isn't it? So here the last term is also given. So AN is equal to 205. Now N is equal to question mark. That means here we are going to find out the number of terms. I hope the concept is clear. Now we can just simplify by putting the values in that particular equation. AN is equal to A plus N minus 1 into D. What is the value of AN? 205 is equal to 7 plus N minus 1 into 6. 205 is equal to 7 plus 6n minus 6. And then we have 205 is equal to 1 plus 6n. 204 is equal to 6n. N will be equal to 204 upon 6, which is 34. Now, how many number of terms are involved in this AP? There are 34 terms in this particular AP. Moving ahead, we have the same type of question again. We're going to find out the number of terms. So here A is equal to 18. The A1, the first term, is equal to 18. The common difference is equal to 5 upon 2. That's basically A2 minus A1. That's something we all know, right? That is 31 upon 2 minus 18 upon 1, which is 31, minus 36 upon 2, which is minus 5 upon 2. Alright, just making it more clear. We have D as minus 5 upon 2. Then, what is AN? AN is equal to minus 47. That is the last term. And what are we going to find out over here? It is the value of N. That is what we're going to find out. That is the number of terms. Now simply put them in the equation. We have AN is equal to A plus N minus 1 into D. That's going to be minus 47 is equal to 18 plus N minus 1 into 5 minus 5 upon 2. Well, that's great. Then we have minus 47 minus 18 equals to N minus 1 into minus 5 upon 2. Now the point you're going to understand over here is that I have transposed this positive 18 to the other side. It turns out to be negative 18. Alright. Now minus 47 minus 18 is minus 65. So minus 65 is equal to N minus 1 into minus 5 upon 2. Now, I'll send minus 5 upon 2 to the other side. It turns out to be reciprocal, isn't it? Then minus 65 into 2 upon minus 5 is equal to N minus 1. Now, this turns out to be 13. So, N will be equal to 13 into 2, which is 26, plus 1. And then, the value of N turns out to be 27. Moving ahead to question number 6. Check whether minus 150 is a term of the AP 11, 8, 5, 2 and so on. I'm going to also see why. Also. Then, first of all, what is the value of A over here? Let's try to extract whatever is given to us. A1 is equal to 11. D is equal to 8 minus 11, which is minus 3. That is nothing but A2 minus A1. Alright. Then, what else we know from this? That's something we all know. The value of A and the value of D. Now, the question is asking, check whether minus 150 is a term of the AP. Now here we're going to let minus 150 be a term of AP. Whether it is or not, we're going to assume that minus 150 is a term of the AP. And to be more precise, let's write it as minus 50 be the nth term of an AP. That would be more precise for us. Now, that means your nth term means an is equal to, wait, what? What did I just write? Alright. So it's going to be an is equal to minus 150. Now we are just assuming that minus 150 is the nth term of an AP. So an will be equal to minus 150. Now, upon all the values, just check. A1 is given, D is given. We also have extracted an. That means n is question mark over here. Isn't it? Now let's see. An is equal to A plus n minus 1 into D. The basic standard formula. Alright. Then minus 150 equals to 11 plus n minus 1 into minus 3. Alright. What do we get over here? Minus 150 minus 11 is equal to minus 3n. Here we have minus 3n plus 3. Now what is this? Minus 150 minus 11. It is minus 161. Now I'm going to transpose this positive 3 to the other side. It turns out to be negative 3. So minus 161 minus 3 is equal to minus 3n. So I hope we are good to go. Right. Then we have minus 164 is equal to minus 3n. So what is the value of n? It is basically minus 164 minus 3n. So wait. It's going to be minus 164 minus 3 is equal to n. I have transposed the minus 3 to the other side. Here it is in multiplication. When it goes to the other side, it turns out to be dividing, isn't it? So now minus and minus get cancelled. But is 164 divisible by 3? No. Isn't it? When 164 is not divisible by 3, that means this is not a term of the AP. Now, come on, this is very basic, right? Now I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4. Now in this, the first term is 1, second term is 2, third term is 3 and fourth term is 4. But did I say, now suppose my teacher asked me to find out the 2.5th term. Is it possible for me to find out? Come on here, 2.5th term does not even exist. So simply minus 150 is not a term of the AP. Moving on, we have find the 31st term of the AP whose 11th term is 38 and 16th term is 73. Now, in this, we know A11 is equal to 38. Now, what is A11? Basically, it is A plus 10D is equal to 38. Now, I'm assuming this as my equation number 1. Alright, then I have A16 is equal to 73. Because my 16th term is 73. That means A plus 15D is equal to 73. And this is my equation number 2. Now, equation number 1 and equation number 2. I'm going to subtract both of them. What do I get? A plus 10D is equal to 38. A plus 15D is equal to 73. Now, on subtracting, the signs get changed, isn't it? This is going to be minus A, this is minus 15D, and this is minus 73. Now, minus A plus A get cancelled. We have minus 5D is equal to minus 35. And here, the value of D turns out to be 7. Now, you know the value of D. Do you know the value of A? We don't know the value of A. So we're going to substitute it in any one of the equation and then we're going to extract them. Now let me suppose substitute in equation number 2. So it's going to be A plus 15 into 7 is equal to 73. A is equal to 73 minus, what is 15 into 7? It is 105. So what is the value of A over here? It is minus 32. Now we know the value of A, we know the value of D. It's easier to find out the 31st term right now. A 31 is equal to A plus 30D. Then it's going to be minus 32 plus 30 into 7. This is minus 32 plus 210, which is equal to 178. So what is my 31st term of the AP? It is 178. An AP consists of 50 terms, of which third term is 12 and the last term is 106. Alright. We are asked to find out the 29th term. We know that n is equal to 50 because the number of terms are 50. We know A3, which is 12. And we know the last term, that is an, is equal to 106. And we are asked to find out the A29. That is the 29th term. Now everyone, this is completely very basic, isn't it? But there is something you must understand from this question. Here, there are 50 terms, out of which the last term is 106. Let us again read it. There are 50 terms, out of which the last term is 106. That means there are some 50 terms, out of which the 50th term, that is the last term, is 106. That means here AN is going to be A50. That is because there are 50 terms. That means last term is equal to 106 and A50 is equal to 106. Now since we gain two things, that is A3 is 12 and A50 is 106, we can extract two equations out of which we can extract A and D similar to our previous questions. Now this is going to be A plus 2D is equal to 12. Then A plus 49D is equal to 106. Now I'm going to simply subtract both them. Then we have minus 47D is equal to minus 94, isn't it? Minus 106 plus 12 is going to give me minus 94. Now what is the value of D? The value of D is 2. Now we know the value of D. Isn't it easier for us to find out the value of A? Isn't it? So A plus 2D is equal to 12. Let me substitute the value of D. A plus 2 into 2 is equal to 12. Then A will be equal to 12 minus 4, which is 8. That means the first term is equal to 8. Now we are asked to find the 29th term of the AP. That means A29. So A29 is nothing but A plus 28D, which is 8 plus 28 into 2. Now, what is 28 times 2? It is 56. So, what is A29 equal to? A29 is equal to 64. Now, what is the 29th term of the AP? It is 64. Moving ahead to the 9th question, we have if the third and the 9th term of the APs are 4 and minus 8 respectively, which term of the AP is 0? So, here A3 is equal to 4. A9 is equal to minus 8. Now, which term? Again told you which term. When which term comes, what is that you're going to find out? You're going to find out the value of n. And they're asking us which term of the AP is 0. That means what is 0 over here? 0 is basically an. Alright. So an is equal to 0. Now, since we don't know the first term, since we don't know the common difference, First, let's find out them. So A3 is nothing but A plus 2D. A plus 2D is equal to 4. Then we have A plus 8D is equal to minus 8. Now let's solve them. I'm going to subtract. The signs are going to change. So here A and A get cancelled. That means A minus A0. So this is minus 60 is equal to 12. And D turns out to be minus 2. Isn't it? What is the value of D, everyone? It is minus 2. Now when we know the value of D, it's easier for us to find out the value of A. We can just substitute it in any of the equation. So let's say I'm substituting in equation number 1. A plus 2D is equal to 4. A plus 2 into minus 2 is equal to 4. This is A minus 4 is equal to 4 and A turns out to be 8. Now, we know the first term. We know the common difference. We know AN. We can simply substitute it in the formula again. AN is equal to A plus N minus 1 into D. You're going to find out which term. So it's going to be that you're going to find out the value of N. So now AN is equal to 0. A is equal to 8 plus now N minus 1. And what is D, everyone? It's minus 2. Then 0 minus 8. I'm just transposing this positive 8 to the other side. It turns out to be negative. Alright, everyone. So this is 0 minus 8 is equal to N minus 1 into minus 2. So this is minus 8 is equal to N into minus 2 is minus 2N plus 2. Isn't it? Minus 1 into minus 2 is plus 2. Alright. So minus 8 minus 2 is equal to minus 2N. I have just transported the positive 2 to the other side. It turns out to be negative. So here I have minus 10 is equal to minus 2N. And the value of N turns out to be 5. Yes, everyone, the value of N turns out to be 5. That means the fifth term of the AP is 0. In the question, they're asking us which term of the AP is 0. That means the fifth term of the AP is 0 because the value of N is 5. Now we are halfway there. We have the 17th term of the AP exceeds its 10th term by 7. Alright, you're going to find out the common difference D. Okay, let's just try to understand the question first. 17th term of the AP means A17 exceeds the 10th term by 7. Now what is 10th term over here? A10. By how much? By 7. Isn't it? The 17th term of the AP exceeds its 10th term by 7 is given by this equation. Alright, everyone. This is the equation. Now, we know that A17 is A plus 16D. And A10 is equal to A plus 9D. I've just substituted whatever we already know, isn't it? A17 means A plus 16D, A15 means A plus 14D, and so on and so on. Then A plus 16D minus A minus 9D is equal to 7. I've just, kind of transported the values. Then A minus A. Then we have 16D minus 9D. What is this? 7D equals to 7. And what is the value of D? The value of D is 1. And what are we asked to find out in the question? We are only asked to find out the common difference. And so what is the value of the common difference? The value of D is 1. The common difference is 1. Moving ahead, which term of the AP, so and so, 3, 15, 27, 39 and so on, will be 132 more than its 54th term? Now, whenever the questions like which term arise, that means you're going to find the value of N. N is equal to question mark. A is equal to 3 and D is equal to 12. That means the first term is 3 and the common difference is equal to 12. How did we get the common difference as 12? A2 minus A1, which is 15 minus 3, that is equal to 12. Well, then AN will be equal to 132 more than its 4th term. That means 132 plus A54. Now, What is our formula, everyone? AN is equal to A plus N minus 1 into D. We know the value of AN, isn't it? The value of AN is 132 plus A 54 is equal to A plus N minus 1 into D. I have just not substituted all the values. In the next step, we'll be doing that. In the first step, I have just substituted the value of AN. Then A32 plus A54 can be written as A plus 53D. Am I right? Is equal to A plus N minus 1 into D. I'm trying to simplify the LHS only. Then, moving ahead, I'm going to substitute the values of A and D. 132 plus 3 plus 53 into 12 is equal to 3 plus N minus 1 into 12. Alright, we have just substituted all the values. Now, moving ahead, we get this as 135 plus, what is 53 times 12, everyone? It is 636 equals to 3 plus N minus 1 into 12. Very well. Then, what is 135 plus 636? It is 771. Then I have taken this positive 3 to the other side. It turns out to be negative 3. Then we have 771 minus 3 is equal to N minus 1 into 12. Now this turns out to be 768 equals to N minus 1 into 12. Now I'll transpose this 12 to the other side. It turns out to be dividing, isn't it? So 768 upon 12 is equal to N plus 1. Here this turns out to be 64. So N will be equal to what? 64 plus 1, isn't it? Here it's going to be minus 1, right? So N will be equal to 64 plus 1, that is equal to 65. That means the 65th term of the AP 3, 15, 27, 39 and so on will be 132 more than its 54th term. Moving ahead, we have a very interesting question over here. Two APs have the same common difference. Okay, let me consider first AP and second AP over here. Alright everyone, then now it has been said that they have the same common difference. That means if I take D as my common difference for the first AP, then for the second AP also it's going to be D because they have the same common difference. Then let me assume over here that A1 is my first term of my first AP and A2 is the first term of my second AP. Here A1 and A2 resemble the first term, but depending upon the AP. A1 is the first term for first AP. A2 is the first term for second AP. Alright. Now, moving to the next part of the question. The difference between their 100th terms is 100. Well, everyone, first we need to know the 100th term of each AP so that we can find out the difference. And that difference is 100. That's already given, right? The difference is 100. And what are we supposed to find out? We are supposed to find out the difference of their 1000th terms. Now, in order to find the difference of their 1000 terms, there must be some condition involved, right? The difference between their 100th terms is 100. So first I'll try to find out the 100th term of first AP and second AP. And then I'll equate that particular thing to 100 because the difference is 100. Now, first AP. I'm going to consider first AP over here. 100th term means here I have A100 equals to A plus A1 plus 99D. I'm trying to use the terminology what I have already, assumed. Okay, for the first AP I have assumed the first term as A1, right? So A100 is equal to A1 plus 99D. Then I'm going to consider second AP right now. Second AP will be, again I'm going to find out A100 only, right? But here instead of A, I'm going to take some other letter. Let's suppose say T. Right, for the second AP, I'm considering the nth term as T100. So T100 is equal to Since I've already assumed A2 as my first term of the second AP, I'll write A2 plus 99D. I hope this is clear to everyone, right? Now, what are we able to extract from the question? The difference between their 100 terms is 100. That means A100 minus T100 is equal to 100. Now, what is this A100 and T100? This A100 and 300 are nothing but this. What we have already done. Right? So, their difference is 100. So, A100 minus 300 is equal to 100. That means over here, I can substitute A1 plus 99D minus, I'll just try to put it on in brackets so that I don't face any difficulty of my signs. Right, so T100 is A2 plus 99D. Well, this has been equated to 100 because the difference is 100. Why are we subtracting here? That's because we are finding out the difference, isn't it? Now, A1 plus 99D minus A2 minus 99D upon removing the brackets. Now everyone, plus 99D and minus 99D get cancelled. We'll be left out with A1 minus A2 is equal to 100 because we are not sure whether the first terms are same or not, isn't it? So we have arrived to this particular equation. Now let me put this on hold. Let me move on to the next part of the question. What is the difference between the 1000 terms? Now I'm going to find out the 1000 term of each AP. Right. So first AP we have the 1000 term as A1 plus 999D. And second AP, it's going to be A2 plus 999D. And let's assume that this is going to be 8000 term and this is T1000 term because their difference is what we're going to find out, right? So these are the two equations we have arrived to. Alright, now let's try to subtract them. Okay, so it's going to be 8000 minus T1000 is equal to question mark. That is A1 plus 999D in brackets minus A2 plus 999D. Yes, everyone, is equal to question mark. That's what we're going to find out. Now, A1 plus 999D minus A2 minus 999D. Right. Now, here if you observe, minus 99D plus 99D. Wait, it's minus 999D and plus 999D. That is 999D, alright. Well, that seems to be very funny. Then we have A1 minus A2. Well, everyone, look at what we have arrived to before. We know that A1 minus A2 is already 100. So, what is the value of A1 minus A2 over here? It is 100. That means the difference between the 1000th terms is also 100, everyone. Moving ahead, we have how many 3-digit numbers are divisible by 7? So such kind of questions, we're going to extract the 3-digit numbers. Like, now here in this case we have 7, right? So the least possible 3-digit number which is divisible by 7 is 105. And then we have 112. Then we have 190. And so on till the last possible number which is 994. So from this AP, now what did we just do? We have just found out the AP. And from the AP we already know two values. What are they? A1 is equal to 105 and the value of D, that is the common difference, is 112 minus 105. And what is the common difference? It is 7. So the value of D is 7. Now we know the first term and the common difference. So now what is our formula, everyone? An is equal to A plus n minus 1 into d. Now, whenever how many terms are divisible by 7, like that, if we find any question which asks the number of terms, that means you're going to find out the value of n. Alright, that means you're going to find out the value of n. And what is an over here, everyone? An here is the last term. Now, what is the last term here? We found out that the last term, which is divisible by 7, that is the maximized 3-digit number that is divisible by 7, is 994. That means your last term, an, is 994. So 994 is equal to 105 plus n minus 1 into 7. And n is what you're going to extract. Alright. Then we have 994 minus 105 is equal to n minus 1 into 7. Now what is 994 minus 105? It is 889. Right. So 889. And then I'm transposing the 7 also to the other side. Here it's in multiplication. When it goes to the other side, it turns out to be dividing, isn't it? Is equal to n minus 1. Now what is 889 by 7? It is 127. So 127 is equal to n minus 1, and the value of n turns out to be 128. That means there are 128 terms or 3-digit numbers that are divisible by 7. Okay, always remember how many terms, which term. That means you're going to find out the value of n. Moving on, we have how many multiples of 4 lie between 10 and 250. Again, how many multiples in the sense, that means you're going to find out the value of n. I hope this is clear by now, right? How many, which term, all of this indicate that you're going to find out the value of n. Now, how many multiples of 4 lie between 10 and 250? First, let's find out the AP. So, we know that upon the 2-digit numbers, that means between 10 and 250, we have 12, 16, 20. Let me just write it down. So, 12, 16, 20, and so and on. And the last number before 250, that is divisible by 4, is 248. Okay, so 248. Now, you might ask me, is it necessary for us to find out the last term? Well, it's definitely necessary, right? Because the last term indicates your an ka value. So, what is the value of an over here? It's 248. What is the value of a1? 12. What is the value of d? 4. So, in this way, when you just look at the AP, you can find out 2 terms for sure. But if you know the last term, then that would be more informative. Right. You're going to find out the value of n as it is. So, what is our formula, everyone? An is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. An is 248. 248 is equal to 12 plus n minus 1 into 4. Now, 248 minus 12 is equal to n minus 1 into 4. Yes, everyone? This is going to be equal to 236 is equal to n minus 1 into 4. Now, what is 236 upon 4? Because I'm just transposing the 4 which is multiplying on this side to the other side, it turns out to be dividing. So, it's going to be 236 upon 4 is equal to n minus 1. And we know that 236 upon 4 is 59. So, this is going to be 59. So, n will be equal to 59 plus 1, which is 60. That means there are 60 multiples of 4 which lie between 10 and 250. Moving on, we have, for what value of n are the nth terms of 2 APs, 63, 65, 67 and so on, and 3, 10, 17 and so on are equal. Now, it seems like question is answering most of the part, right? So, here you're going to find out the value of n. That seems to be very simple, right? You're going to just find out the value of n. And what else is given? We know the two APs. And we know that from each AP we can extract A and D. Now first AP we have here is 63, 65, 67, out of which my first term is 63 and the common difference is 2. That is A2 minus A1, 65 minus 63, which is 2. Alright, then we have the second AP. Second AP. Out of which, what is the first term? It is 3. What is the common difference? 10 minus 3, which is 7. That is A2 minus A1. 10 minus 3, 7. Now everyone, we're going to find out the n. That is a value asked in the question. Here, what else the question is actually offering us? It is offering us that the nth terms of the two APs are equal. That means an is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. Now I am solving the first AP first. First preference for the first AP. So an will be equal to 63 plus n minus 1 into 2. Right. This is going to be an is equal to 63 plus 2n. Am I right? 63 plus 2n minus 2. So now, what is this equal to? This is going to be equal to 63 minus 2, which is 61 plus 2n. Now, similarly, we're going to find it out for the second AP. And then we can equate them because the nth terms of two APs are equal. Here we found out the nth term, and for the second one, if we find out, we can just equate them, right? Because they are equal. So, an is equal to, what is the value of a? 3 plus n minus 1 into 7. an will be equal to 3 plus 7n minus 7. an is equal to minus 4 plus 7n. So now we got the two equations and we can just equate them because both the n terms are equal. That is what the question is actually offering us. Right. Then let's just equate both of the equations. Here we have equation number 1 and here we have equation number 2. You're going to write equating 1 and 2. Because have a look at the question. The nth terms are equal. Right. So 61 plus 2n is equal to minus 4 plus 7n. This is going to be 64 plus 4 is equal to 7n minus 2n, which is 65 is equal to 5n. And what is the value of n? n is equal to 13. That means for the value of n, the nth terms of the two APs are equal. For what value of n? n is equal to 13. So for the value of n as 13, the nth terms of the APs are equal. Moving ahead, we have determine the AP whose third term is 16. That means A3 is equal to 16. And the seventh term, A7 is equal to, the seventh term exceeds the fifth term by 12. That means A5 plus 12. Now, A3 means A plus 2D is equal to 16. And here we have A plus 6D is equal to A plus 4D plus 12. A7 means A plus 6D. A5 means A plus 4D. As simple as that. Now, I'm trying to simplify this equation further. Okay. So, here A and A get cancelled. We'll be left out with 60 minus 4D equals to 12. 2D equals to 12. And the value of D turns out to be 6. And when the value of D turns out to be 6, substituted in the first AP, we'll be getting the first term. Substituted in the first equation, right? This is equation number 1. Now, A plus 2 into 6 equals to 16. A will be equal to 16 minus 12, which is 4. That means the value of A and D is known to us. Now we're going to just find out the AP. Come on, this is very basic. First term is 4. Second term will be A plus D. Second term is going to be A plus D. That is going to be 4 plus 6, which is 10. So the sequence goes like this, 4, 10 and so on. Let's find the third and fourth as well. A3 will be equal to A plus 2D. This is going to be 4 plus, this is 4 plus 2 into 6, which is equal to 4 plus 12, which is 16. Am I right? Then A4 is equal to A plus 3D. That is equal to 4 plus 3 into 6. And then we have 4 plus 18, which is 22. So now, what is the AP, everyone? The AP is 4, 10, 16, 22 and so on. So we were asked to determine the AP, which is going to be 4, 10, 16, 22 and so on. Moving ahead, we have find the 20th term from the last term of the AP, 3, 8, 13, so and on. Then we have the last term as 253. Okay. So in this kind of questions, first let's try the given data. A1 is equal to 3. D is equal to 8 minus 3, which is 5. And we also know the last term or L or your AN basically. That is your 253. Alright. Now, this is something given to us. And we also know the value of N, which is 20. Yes, everyone, that's because find the 20th term. That means N is 20. Right. Now, I'm trying to find out this by a little way far more easier method, which is if you're ever asked to find out the nth term from the end, whenever you're asked to find the nth term from the end, then you can definitely use this formula, which is L minus N minus 1 into D. Here L means the last term, N means the term which you're finding, and D is the common difference, which is very known to us. Then, so this is the only formula where you can find out any term, any nth term from the end of the AP. So, now here we are asked to find the 20th term from the end of the AP. That means from the last term of the AP. So, here L is 253 minus 20 minus 1 into D. Now, this is going to be 253 minus 19 into, wait, what? We forgot to substitute the value of D, which is 5, right? So now, 253 minus, what is 19 times 5? It is 95. Now, what is 253 minus 95? It is 158. So now, what is the last term over here? It's 253. We know the value of A1. We know the value of N. We know the value of D. You can directly apply this formula to find out the any term. Like you can find out the nth term from the end. Always remember we are talking about end over here. This formula is applicable only for when you are using to find out the nth term from the end. So here we are asked to find out the 20th term from the last term of the AP. That means from the end of the AP. What is the 20th term? So 20th term over here from the end of the AP is 158. What is the formula? It is L minus N minus 1 into D. Now, the sum of the 4th and the 8th terms of the AP is 24. And the sum of the 6th and the 10th terms is 44. That means A4 plus A8 is equal to 24 and A6 plus A10 is equal to 44. Now simplify both of the equations. We get A plus 3D plus A plus 70 equals to 24. This is going to be 2A plus 70 plus 3D is 10D, right? 2A plus 10D is equal to 24. Now I'm going to take 2 common, will be left out with A plus 5D in the brackets equals to 24. Now A plus 5D will be equal to 12, right? 2 ones and 2 12s. So A plus 5D equals to 12. In a similar manner, let's just solve the second equation right now. It's going to be A plus 5D plus A plus 9D equals to 44. This is going to be 2A plus 14D equals to 44. I'm going to take 2 common. You'll be having A plus 70 in the brackets equals to 44. And A plus 70 will be equal to 22. Isn't it? Because here we have 2 times 1 and 2 times 22. Alright. Now we have arrived with our both the equations. Now I'm going to subtract both the equation, everyone. We have A plus 5D equals to 12 and A plus 7D equals to 22. Now I'm going to simply subtract them. The signs get changed, right? So this means in this way, right? So A and A get cancelled, will be left out with minus 2D is equal to minus 10. And the value of D turns out to be 5. And when you know the value of D, it's simpler to find out the value of A. Just substitute it in any of the equations. And substituting in the second equation, I get A plus 7 into 5 is equal to 22. A is equal to 22 minus 35. And what is 22 minus 35? It is 13, right? So it's going to be minus 13. So A is equal to minus 13. Now we know the value of A, we know the value of D. What are we asked to find? We are asked to find the first 3 terms of the AP. That means, what is our first term, everyone? We already found out our first term, which is minus 13. A2 will be equal to A plus D, which is gonna be minus 13 plus 5, which is minus 8. Yes, everyone? Then A3 is equal to A plus 2D, which is minus 13 plus 2 into 5. So this is minus 13 plus 10, which is minus 3. So what is the value of A3 over here? A3 is equal to minus 3. Now we know the value of the first term, second term and the third term. So what are the first 3 terms of the AP? The first term is minus 13, the second term is minus 8 and the third term is minus 3. Moving ahead, we have a very interesting question which says, Subbarao started work in 1995, that is the year, right? Then at an annual salary of rupees 5,000 and received an increment of rupees 200 each year. In which year did his income reach rupees 7,000? Now the important thing about this kind of word problems is that you get stuck in knowing which value is what. So here, annual salary. Annual salary means here the first term is rupees 5,000 or simply 5,000. Then he received an increment of rupees 200. That means the value of D is 200 because 200 is increasing every year, right? So this is a constant value which is increasing every year. So the common difference is 200. Then in which year did his income reach rupees 7,000? That means the AN or the nth term is 7,000. And here what are we asked to find? We are asked to find out the value of N. That is the simple thing you have to understand, and this is something very basic again. AN is equal to A plus N minus 1 into D. You must just be sure that which value resembles what in the question. So AN is 7000 and A is 5000 plus N is what we are going to find out and D is 200. Right? Now 7000 minus 5000. So 7000 minus 5000 is equal to N minus 1 into 200. Yes, everyone. So this is going to be 2000 upon 200 is equal to N minus 1 because I've transported this 200 to the other side. Here is a multiplication. When it goes to the other side, it turns out to be dividing, right? So here, the zeros get cancelled. You'll be left out with 20 upon 2, which is 10. 10 is equal to N minus 1. And now what is the value of N? N is equal to 10 plus 1, which is 11. That means Subbarau's income will reach rupees 7,000 in the 11th year. Subbarau's income will reach rupees 7,000 in the 11th year. Now, moving on to the last question of the day and the last question of this exercise, the 20th question, which says, Ramkali saved rupees 5 in the first week of a year and then increased her weekly savings by rupees 1.75. So then, if in the nth week her weekly savings become rupees 20.75, find N. That means here N is what the question is asking us. It's a simple question, right? Everything has been already said in the question. You're just going to find out the value of N. That is the unknown value. That is something you already know. Then Ramkali saved rupees 5 in the first week. That means A1 is 5. The first term is 5. Then she increased her weekly savings by rupees 1.75. That means every week 1.75 is increasing. That means the common difference is 1.75. The statements itself say most of the things in the word problems, isn't it? So then, if in the nth week her weekly savings become rupees 20.75, that means AN is equal to 20.75. And N is something we are going to find out. Now, simply substitute them in our values. What is the value? That is AN is equal to A plus N minus 1 into D. That is basically the formula. Right, more precisely. Not a value but a formula. Then, so AN is 20.75 is equal to 5 plus N minus 1 into 1.75. Now, 20.75 minus 5 is equal to N minus 1 into 1.75. Now, 20.75 minus 5 is 15.75, which is going to be equal to N minus 1 into 1.75. Then, I'm going to transpose this 1.75 to the other side. It turns out to be dividing. 15.75 upon 1.75 is equal to N minus 1. Now, this turns out to be, everyone, this turns out to be 63 upon 7 is equal to N minus 1, which is going to be 9. So, N will be equal to 9 plus 1, which is 10. Now, what is the value of N over here? The value of N is 10. That is something that is already asked in the question. You're going to find out N. What is N? N is 10. That dives us to the end of the video. And do not forget to subscribe to our channel Smiley Kids for more updates. Watch our other videos too. Thank you so much.